What's good, y'all? Welcome to another video. And your boy Ryan Garcia said he's standing on business. Okay? He's standing on business and he checking Oscar and Bernard. Let's talk about it. So what's good, y'all? Ryan Garcia, next fight coming up. Now, leading up to this fight and leading up to Ryan Garcia having issues with Oscar, issues with Bernard Hopkins started after the fight with Gervonta Davis. He lost. They thought he was, I don't even honestly think they thought he was going to win, realistically. But they knew he was going in there, a rehydration clause, I should say. And they knew that it was going to be tough for him, right? But the fact of the matter is, after the fight was done, Ryan Garcia, you could honestly say he did quit. He did. So before I even get into this even deeper, right, I'm probably going to play the devil's advocate in this situation because I feel as though Ryan Garcia did do things wrong, and I think Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins did things wrong as well. So you could just see which one is the lesser of two evils, but I feel like they both kind of got issues, right? So again, we go back to this fight. He loses to Gervonta Davis. He goes up to the press conference. He takes his L like a man. Luckily, because he was talking a lot of ish, and realistically, people knew. The real people who watch fighting, who just know people's demeanors and how they speak when they're under pressure, and we all knew he was just trying to build a fight. We knew Ryan Garcia didn't believe a lot of the things that he was saying, realistically. But boxers do this, fighters do this, so it wasn't really out of the norm for him to act the way he was acting, right? Whatever, that's neither here nor there. After he loses, he stands on it. He like, yo, better man won. He got the better of me. Couldn't continue fighting. But the issue was, while he's talking about this, his team not there. Golden Boys, whatever, they not there. You feel me? They not backing him. They not supporting him. Now, some of y'all might say, yo, he a grown-ass man. He don't really need his team to be there with him. But realistically, if that's who's backing you and that's who's with you throughout, your whole promotional campaign, and when you on television and when you at these weigh-ins and when you matching up, signing these contracts, if they there for that and they there for the bag, why wouldn't they be there in the loss? You see what I'm saying? And there was still checks that was cut. So like, why wouldn't you show up there, especially when you know that's your fighter's first defeat? And people take that differently. You see what I'm saying? That took his undefeated streak away from him. So I feel as though y'all definitely could have been there in his corner for that. Of course, any fighter realistically is not going to forgive you for that, even if they say they do, because you can never get that moment back. Like, yo, you can only be defeated one time to lose your O, right? So once that happened, of course you're going to hold this over their head going forward. So now in the press conference, he mentioned, Oscar De La Hoya. And mentioned Bernard Hopkins talking about, hey, he said, I bringing up his retirement. Like, yo, I retire when I want to, and he doesn't know, kind of throwing shade at him, throwing shade at Oscar De La Hoya. And Oscar De La Hoya came right back and threw shade at him. Like, yo, I don't know what this child talking about. You can't really teach a child things like this. He said, if he wins, if he wins this next fight, talking about his next fight leading up to more fights to happen, it just looks bad. It looks like this relationship is done between them. It should have been done after the last fight, but you know how contract situations and things like that work. But for Ryan Garcia, I do see how some of them, like an Oscar on the outside looking in, can say like, he's not as focused as he could be. He does believe he's quote unquote ready for this fight, but he doesn't necessarily know if he's gonna win. But again, if that's your promoter, you want him to say you're going to win regardless, right? But still, I can understand coming from, his perspective, why they can look at him and still say, I don't really think you 100% locked in and focused on this fight, because his actions and demeanors showcase that a little bit. Yeah, he does train, but it does look like he tries to do a lot of other stuff. You see what I'm saying? And it ain't really nothing wrong with that. It's just, there's an issue with that when it comes to, like, really fighting and wanting to be the best in this. Like, You can't say you want to be the greatest. You can't say you want to be the best in this when you're not really in the trenches with this. You see what I'm saying? 100%. When you got other people that are in the trenches with this 100%. So I see how that can look. I see how that can come off, especially to the people. And then other people mention, like, you know, he always has excuses, or he's super emotional. And I can see that to a degree. I at least can say when it comes to excuses, he still owns them. You see what I'm saying? Like, he still owned his loss. So it could be excuses on one end, but on the other end, he's still like, yo, but regardless, I took an L. So for you to wear that, I gotta give you, you know, a salute on that. Like, regardless, you can come up with all the excuses you want, but he still wore that L. He took it. Yo, I took an L. But as far as the emotional situation goes, I can't see that. And I mean, that's just the nature of the game. Some people gonna be in this that's heartless and don't give a damn about nothing. They don't show you no type of emotion. And you're gonna get other people who are more emotional than others. You see what I'm saying? And I could definitely say that he is more on the emotional side. You see what I'm saying? And he felt, you know, the need to address things. But at the same time, I gotta respect him for addressing them right there, in person, you know, behind the cameras. And you right behind me, Bernard, right over there. And I'm speaking on y'all. And I'm letting y'all know how I feel about y'all at this moment in time. And it's not all, you know, roses and sunshine. Like, I really feel some type of way. And I want y'all to know that here publicly. I ain't hiding. So I got to respect that just from a man's perspective there. You got to respect it. Whether you want to call him emotional, whether you want to say he a diva when it comes to handling certain situations and things of that nature, and, you know, excuses, all of that. You can say all of that, but you got to give a man credit to stand on business like T.I. did. You know, if y'all know, that's another reference later. But if you got to give him respect for that. You see what I'm saying? Because he did what he did, you know. But going forward, I don't think this is something that could last between them. I personally think that Oscar is really like banking on him losing right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a bet going on, like, yeah, he gonna get knocked out at this time, or he gonna lose at this time. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised, just based on his demeanor and how he's speaking right now. It's like the relationship is stale. It's done. You know, I don't see them rekindling this, because it's really nothing you could really do. You know, once y'all get to this point, and now y'all throwing shade to each other in public, not behind closed doors, you already let it leak too far. Now the public know what y'all going through. Too much people in your business. I don't see that going far with them being together going forward with any type of fights, right? And then in other news, we got a super cruiserweight division. So they now added another title to the mix of all of this bullshit. You just gotta shake your head sometimes, you know, because who asked for this? That's my question. Like, who asked for this? Who say, yo, you know what would be great, man? Let's add another title, right? Let's add another title and put it in this weight class, a class that not many people be in, like, a lot of the times. But let's just make it just for GP, right? Like, realistically, what this does now is it allows fighters to duck even more, which is unfortunate. Because realistically, that's all people are trying to do. I won't say we, but the fighters are trying to exploit the weakest divisions and get rid of them and clean that up and look successful and get the titles and all the awards. You see what I'm saying? Devin Haney just said he done with 135. He vacating all his belts. So now he vacating all his belts. So that means he don't got to fight Tank. That means he don't got to fight Shakur. You see what I'm saying? Like the hype, the people that have been talking about he don't got to rematch with Loma. He don't got to do none of that. He don't got to do none of that to go to 140. Now, y'all watch boxing. What's more competitive? 135 or 140? Let's just be real. Now he says after he hopefully wins this next fight, he's going to go to 145. Sounds good, right? But even still, if he does that, what's more competitive? 145 or 135? So it just, you know, it kind of sucks, because it's like, realistically, boxing needs something in effect that makes top fighters fight each other more often. It needs some type of rule implemented that makes people duck less. But realistically, you adding another whole title in weight division makes people duck people more. So it's like, I don't understand it. I don't get why it's gonna go in effect. I don't see why they doing this. Maybe y'all do. Y'all can give me light on the information. But I don't understand. I don't think it's a good idea. But hey, that's boxing of the late 2020s. You see what I'm saying? That's just how shit go. But yeah, man, y'all get in the comment section. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Do y'all think Oscar De La Hoya is in the right for calling his, golden child a kid, a child, not knowing how to act in certain situations? Or you on Ryan Garcia's side and you think he was standing on business on that stage and mentioning Bernard Hopkins and Oscar De La Hoya for their wrongdoings? And also, do you think adding the cruiserweight, super cruiserweight division is good, or you think that's trash? Let me know. Get in the comment section below, man. And just like that, I'm out of here. Peace.